Well, hello there, stampers and crafters. My name is Susan Timchak, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And what I wanted to share with you tonight is one of the new sets I just purchased. I'm just fixing my little microphone here. Um, the stamp set that I just purchased, this is called Baby Bear, and this has been a stamp set that I kind of hemmed and hawed over, not really sure if it was something that I really wanted to get. But then when Stampin' Up! Was having our huge 25% off sale, I felt, well, it was meant to be. Because I always kind of looked at it, being that it's called Baby Bear, I always looked at this stamp set as though it was just for babies. It does say, welcome to the world, love you very much, hello baby, thank you, something for baby, to hug and to hold from this day forward. And I just, well, babies are not anything that, I really make a whole lot of cards for. Although, most of my friends are kind of older, although they have grandbabies coming. But like I said, you can't pass up a deal. So 25% off, and then with me being a demonstrator, my demonstrator 25% off discount. Well, I mean, like really, I just had to get it. So I did. This is a really different stamp set from what Stampin' Up! Usually carries. This stamp set is actually 3 different parts. And it's sort of, they made this one to make it look very like it was an actual photo. I forget the whole verbiage of how it all goes and everything and how they all make it. But I kind of thought, well, this is going to be something that's kind of going to be difficult to create with all the steps. But I kind of found 2 different ways to use this set. And I did find, once I played a little bit and learned how to stamp on top of it to make the different layers, I found it really wasn't that hard. So I thought I would share with you my experience with stamping with this. So I'm going to do 2 different stamping techniques with you. One is going to be on crumb cake, and one is going to be on our Whisper White. And I'm only going to use 2 of the stamps with this this set. And the 2 colors I'm going to use, I'm going to stick with the typical bear colors. I'm going to go with crumb cake, which is the same as this cardstock. And you might think, wow, that's not going to show, but wait till you see. And the other color, of course, is chocolate chip. I've been in the mood for chocolate lately. I could have used early espresso, but chocolate is just so much more fun, don't you think? All right, so let's get started. So when I open up this set, it comes with 2 different sets. And it is a photopolymer stamp set. And now you don't want to get these confused. Sorry for any rustling of that. You don't want to get confused with the photopolymer versus our clear stamps, because our clear are actually still the red rubber, but they're just not mounted on the wood. You need to get these acrylic blocks, and you'll mount it on and off of that. Now the wood blocks, you put them on and they're permanent. Photopolymer come on and off. I have to say photopolymer is probably one of my best favorite. So let's go ahead, and usually I use a little pad underneath to kind of give a little cushion, but I'm just going to go ahead, let's do the white first. I'm just going to go ahead and just stamp right on here. So this is actually like a bold image, kind of like the whole outline of the bear. And don't worry if it doesn't stamp totally perfect, because we're going to stamp on top of that. So there it is on the white. Let's go ahead and do it on crumb cake on crumb cake. Okay, just firm pressure and lift. Now that didn't really do too well. So the great part about photopolymer is, and I'm sorry if I get my head in the way here, you can go ahead and realign it and stamp right over it. Or our cardstock comes with 2 sides. And the best part of that is you can flip it over and you could try again, and then you can decide which one do I like better. So see, I'm a demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator now for 16 plus years. Oh, there we go. That's good. And I'm not perfect. So let me just wipe this off real quick. because I only have one of these blocks. So I'm going to need now the more detailed, and again, sorry for the rustling of the paper here. And so there's two different detailed stamps. And I kind of like this one, which the other one is kind of like darker in appearance. And you could actually see what it looks like by laying it right over the top. So look how fun that is. You can actually see your bear come to life. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me close up my crumb cake before I create a mess with that. Okay, so this is chocolate chip, and this is the second part of creating the bear. And our foam pads are just so nice. And again, I apologize if my head gets in the way, but what I'm basically doing is right down here, the bottom of his belly, there's a little piece that kind of comes out, and that's what I'm using to judge on the stamp to align that up. And again, if it doesn't come out perfect, that's okay. You know, that's, you know, really, it's handmade. But, oh, there we go. Look how cute he looks. Now you can go ahead and do the third stamp if you like, but I like him like that. So let's see how he looks on the crumb cake. Now the crumb cake has already given you a color. We've already stamped the background. And again, apologize if my head gets in the way. But we're just going to press this down, and there he is there. So look how cute he looks. Let me move this out of the way. You get totally different look with a different color cardstock. Now you can do this in pink, blue, any of the other colors that we offer. But on white, you kind of get a real stark looking bear. And on the crumb cake, it's kind of a little different muted bear. So these were two I did before. And you could see this one dried already, so it's a little dark now because it hasn't dried, but this is still the chocolate chip on both of them. It's still a little wet. So then you wonder, all right, well, what are we going to do with those? Well, let me show you. So I'm again going off the fence. I'm going for a less traditional card. So let's take a piece of this. Now there's another piece. Let me bring that back in. Getting a little ahead of myself. There's a bow in this stamp set as well, and it's two different steps. So let's go ahead and check that out. We're going to do that with the real red. Well, we do real red bow. All right, so we're going to go with the bold image. Ink that up. And this bear I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to show you what I did with it. So I kind of want to stamp off, and then I'll stamp on here. Okay, so there's our bow. We'll take the second part of our bow, and this one I'm going to use full-fledged. And I'm going to align it up, and there's our bow. How pretty is that? Cute, right? Okay, let me move this out of the way. I'll clean that up later on. So what I did then is I cut it out. So I actually have a couple of them here. Here's the bow cut out. Okay, now when you're cutting out, if you can see this, when you're cutting out, I don't think that's helping you. Let me grab something. This isn't going to help either. Let me just put it here. I like to leave a little bit of the white around the edge. I mean, I am not very good with cutting, but by leaving that little bit of an edge, it kind of takes away, you know, from if your cut wasn't exactly perfect. So the other thing I did is I used our, this is in the holiday catalog. This is the, oh boy, I didn't write down what it's called, but it's like a hat punch. It goes with the Jolly Elf set. And what I did is I took some of the glimmer paper. I took the red glimmer paper and I punched out. And then with the white scrap, I punched out the little pom-pom and then the other piece here. And then I just glued them together, just like that. So I have a red bow and I have a red hat. And then what you can do is with your bear is you can dress him up like so. Give him a little red bow. Or here he is. Let's check him out on the brown. Well, I should say in the crumb cake. Excuse me. Need to make sure I use the proper colors. Here's another one. Look how cute he looks. Now, he's not baby anymore, is he? Now, he's going into Christmas. So let me show you 2 cards that I did. Here's one here that I stamped. Now, these are retired, these little dots. They were in the holiday catalog from last Christmas, but I had some laying around. I like to use up what I have. But you could very easily take our pearls and a permanent marker and color them any color you want. I put a little red one here. Some of our Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper, and this is red, chocolate chip. And how cute is that? I put a little bit of the Wink of Stella on this piece here and that piece of his hat. And then with the white one, let me grab one of those from my pile over here. With the white one, I basically did the same. I used a little bit lighter colors, and you could tell this one really dried. This one is a little bit darker color. And what I did is I cut him out all the way around, and I used Stampin' Dimensionals, and I put him up on Dimensionals. The snowflake is actually taking from the stamp set, the Tin of Tags. And it's this snowflake right here. This is also a photopolymer stamp set. So I just used some real red, made a little background with the basic gray is the card base. And again, the same Designer Series paper, the Wink of Stella, and 2 totally different cards, no baby whatsoever. So even though it's focused on baby, I mean, you can really take this further than what it was intended for. And that's what I love about Stampin' Up! Stamps and all the accessories and punches and things that we have, is that you can really go outside the box and create whatever it is that you want to create. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll have a link down below if you're interested in any of the products I used here today, or if you have any questions on anything. And I also have a blog, which I'll be posting these photos on there very soon. Hopefully this week I get a chance to. And I want to thank you for joining me today. And I hope you have a super Stampin' Day. And glimmer hugs to you all. And I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.